Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a little bit different. This is going to be my version of a holiday shopping guide. I know there's a lot of sales going on right now. Tackle Warehouse has changed their holiday shopping guide up from years past. I was looking forward to the years past version. It did not come back this year. This year was a whole different ball game. It started November 1st was the first sale. Then I think it was November 8th was the second sale, and then November 22nd is the third sale. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick off with the sale. Let's go ahead and get to it. So one of the first things that we need to do is go to the website tacklewarehouse.com, and what we've already missed was phase 1 of the Black Friday sale. So we're going to go ahead and go to that, which is right here. This is deals that we have missed. And basically there's combos, fishing line, terminal tackle, apparel, sunglasses, and jigs, which I'm a big fan of swim jigs. I do drag jigs earlier in the year and during the winter time. Far as when it's warmer and warmer months, that's not the case. I like to swim my jigs. I like to fish fast moving baits, big top waters. That's what that's what I love to do. Far as dragging jigs, that's not really my style. But there's some really good deals. If that's your style, there's some really good deals in there to go about getting. Now is the time to stock up and get your year's worth of supplies, is how I normally do it. In the years past, you get some really good deals. Not every year are you going to get the greatest deals, but you just got to be ready to pull the trigger. So let's go ahead and look at the fishing line. Fishing line to me is one of the most spent extra things that you have to do throughout the year. If you don't buy a large spool of fishing line ahead of time, you will spend a lot of money. You'll waste a lot of extra money buying 125-yard spools of braided fishing line or fluorocarbon fishing line, rather than just buying one giant spool at the beginning of the year. If you're able to, you will save yourself quite a bit of coin. So let's go ahead and go to fluorocarbon, because I run 8-pound, 12-pound, 17, 20, 25, and 30-pound fluorocarbon. So I have to have all that fluorocarbon. I don't look to have the greatest fluorocarbon that money can buy. I do tend to do that just for the mag draft, literally the 10-inch mag draft. I use 30-pound Sunline Super Sniper fluorocarbon. So let's go to 30-pound. They are sold out of the 200-yard, the 660, and the 1200-yard spools. So this is the most expensive fluorocarbon that I buy. So just for a 165-yard spool, I'm gonna end up dropping, $36.99 plus tax on that for a 30-pound test. And that's only to throw basically the mag draft 10-inch, 8-inch, and the 7-inch Bass Pro Shop Swerve glide bait. So let's go ahead and if I was to show up a little bit earlier on this website and got a good deal on that, at least the 660-yard stuff, it doesn't even give me a price for it, what it would have been, but it's still a lot cheaper for me to do that, even though I only spool that spool those 8-footers up maybe 3 times during the year, depending on how much I fish it. So let's go ahead and back out of that. Let's go ahead and go to Red Label, because it's the cheaper of the fluorocarbons. It's not the greatest, but it's not the worst in my opinion. I haven't had too many horror stories of utilizing this fishing line. This fishing line, it'll get you on down the road. I tend to run 8-pound on a spinning rod. I run 12-pound on my crankbait and jerkbait rods. 17-pound is for my larger size crankbait, which is a medium heavy 7-foot rod. I run the 20-pound on my 7'6" medium heavy rod, basically a spinnerbait rod. I like a little bit larger line. So let's see what a 1,000-yard spool would end up costing you. That's still a really good price, $83.99. That's 10 times at 100-yard spools. 10 times. You're gonna spend $15, $20 on just one load of that each time. That's 10 times. That's double that. It's just it got some incredible deals that you need to at least look at, maybe think about, pull the trigger on a bigger spool of fishing line. Let's check out what the 12-pound, which I have right now in my living room, 1,000-yard spool, $67.99. You can't beat that price for fluorocarbon and being able to have a large spool of it. That's what I use for my jerkbait and crankbaits for the smaller ones. For the bigger ones, I use the 17-pound, especially when I'm up shallow. The larger square bills, I'll use 17 pounds, especially the 6 Sense Movement 80X, which is one of my favorite crankbaits. Let's see what you would spend. Still, $15.79 for 200 yards. That's 2 spools to me. You know, not really at 12-pound. You're going to probably want more than 100 yards of it. I like a full spool of line. I know a lot of people don't do that. So let's back out of that. Let's go over to this one, because I like to have this type of fluorocarbon for my 17 and 20 pound. If I can swing it. It's a little bit more money up front. Let's go with that. Still $77.99 for 600 yards of 17-pound fluorocarbon. That's a pretty good deal. Still $86.99 for a 20-pound fluorocarbon for 600 yards of it. You can't beat that. All right, we're gonna move on to braided fishing line. So braided fishing line, I'm not very picky. I like the Power Pro moss green is what I normally go with. And I run 40-pound braid on a medium heavy 7'2" Johnny Morris Signature Series spinning rod and reel. I run 50-pound on a bait caster. I run 65-pound on a bait caster. I run 80-pound on a bait caster. So I run, 4 different sizes of braid throughout the year of fishing. Once again, I usually buy it in the 300-yard spools, which still is not very bad at all. Still $33.50 for a 300-yard spool of this. This stuff is very good. It seems to last pretty good. Let's go with a 500-yard spool of 50-pound. Let's say you just fish braid and that's all you fish. Still $52.50 for a 500-yard spool of 50-pound braid. That's a pretty dang good price. Really good price. You're going to spend at least $15 to $17 on a spool of that, 125 yards at Walmart, say. you're in a pinch, out of town, you need to change your braid, you go to Walmart, you're going to waste money. This is a way better deal overall if you could swing it. So that's braid, fluorocarbon. I do run one monofilament on one reel. It will be 17-pound monofilament. Big game is not a bad choice, even though they don't have 17-pound fluorocarbon. It's still not a bad choice to have that at Walmart. It's a fishing line that will work in a pinch. I like the Stren in 8-pound for 6-pound, 8-pound for winter time, like right now. Well, it's not technically winter time, but it's cold water fishing. There'll be a new video coming out on that, on the specifics of that, and what I carry in the wintertime. Right here I have a Shad Rap with a clip on it, but it's a Shad Rap made in Finland. It's a Rapala. Very hard to cast these on. Shad Rap number 7. It's a very difficult lure to cast on bait cast gear, so you have to use the 6 and 8-pound monofilament. Helps out. But you can literally get these spools for next to nothing. Like an 8-pound, 330-yard spool of it, $6.99. You can't beat that. And it's on sale. So as far as fishing line, that would be what I would do and how I would go about doing it. I would write down all your reel sizes and reel types of line that you need, and just go about doing that. Combos, you can never go wrong. Let's go ahead and go down to jigs though and knock jigs out right quick. I love swim jigs. Dirty Jigs is my swim jig of choice. You can never go wrong with any of these Dirty Jig swim jig. I try to match the hatch as far as the color. Up here in the north, in the Pacific Northwest, I tend to go with tried and true bluegill imitated colors. Let's go right there. Bam. That thing will get chomped. This Dirty Jig swim jig only goes up to 1/2 ounce, which you can't go wrong with that, but I'm a big baiter, so I like to go with the California swim jig. Let's check this out to see. Yep, 3/4 ounce. Let's go with the big boy. And they have some very good colors. Bluegill number 2. Could never go wrong with that. And the 3/4 ounce. But whatever your preference of forage is in your area or a particular body of water, like all these look like bluegill to me. You can imitate all those. Even if it says yellow perch, still I can make that thing look like a bluegill or a perch. It doesn't matter. They will get smashed. So you can't go wrong with, $5.99 plus they're on sale. So it's even going to be cheaper than that. I think it's 20% off. So Dirty Jig swim jigs are the ones that I go with. This is a very good nighttime swim jig. It's the No Jack. I get it in a 1/2 ounce. Go to colors. I would go with the black and blue purple more than likely, or the black and blue. It's very sleek. It has a very thick wire hook, so you're never going to have any worries about the hook bending out per se. So that's jigs for me. Far as swim jigs, you can't go wrong with the Strike King Hack Attack heavy cover swim jig. That was my original swim jig that I went with. but I always felt like there was always a better one on the market, and that's when I found Dirty Jigs. And their California Swim Jig is probably the best on the market in my opinion. Some of the 6 Sense is alright, but some of those hooks, they're not up to 65-pound braid on a 7'6" heavy action rod. I don't need that hook to bend out at all. But you can see all these jigs that they have on here. Even pitching and flipping jigs, which I don't have any currently, but you can never go wrong with this technique. I tend to do this technique early in the year, early in the spring, usually late February and March. I would just go with the Dirty Jigs. You can never go wrong with that company. Buckeye Jig Company, been around for a very long time. But you can see the profile of the heads, they're all about the same, give or take. They're just it's just instant. The bite is instant when you flip a jig into a bush or a matted grass or something along those lines, like the grass and punch jigs. These are heavy-headed jigs. Bunker busters. They smash right through. That's why the price of them, or some of them, are pretty outrageous. Alright, let's get back out of the jigs. Now let's go up and check out combos. Let's see what kind of combos they have. So let's go with spinning combos. You can never go wrong with a Mach 2 spinning combo. That is a very well put together equipment for the average fishing weekend warrior type of angler. If I was you, I would always go with a one single piece rod if I could get away with it, rather than a 2-piece rod. One piece would be far more sensitive. You'll have a lot more feeling, sensitivity. You'll detect a lot more bites. You catch a lot more fish. So yeah, just quick little look right there. The Mach 2 spinning rod would probably be my number one choice. Let's go over the casting combos. You can never go wrong with this seller right here. Abu Garcia is a very fine company. They make very quality fishing gear at different affordable levels for the angler's choice. You can never go wrong with the Mach 2 casting combo. I have one, but I did not buy it as a combo. I bought one piece. I think I bought the reel at Tackle Warehouse, and I think I bought the rod at Bass Pro Shop, or vice versa. But you can never go wrong with something like this. If you don't want to spend an arm and a leg, I try to spend about less than $150 on my first combo. That's a very good bar to set. Like this combo right here is on sale, so it's even cheaper. It's a pretty good start out combo. There are cheaper ones, but when you get too cheap, you get what you pay for. You just got to be wary of that. So yes, Mach 2 casting combo, you can never go wrong with that thing. That thing is a fine piece of equipment. So let's go ahead and get out of that. That was the first phase right there, was the rod and reel combos. All this blue that's lit up, terminal tackle. But really the fishing line, to me, and maybe the swim jigs, are the best things out of that first phase to look at getting. So you go right here, and this is November 11th, November 1st. So yes, phase 2 was November 11th to the 22nd. So the 22nd, I'll start with the number 3, and they'll run to December 3rd. So that's good to know. So that's phase 3. Let's go to phase 2. Let's go to rods. Let's go to spinning rods. The stupid dog next door won't be quiet. Apologize now. So let's go ahead, and we are looking for budget-friendly rod and reels. So let's go ahead and click on Lew's. You can never go wrong with Lew's. Okay, KVD, right off, just eyeballing this. It's an IM8 blank. That's a very sensitive blank. Most of them that come out are IM6, IM7, which isn't all that good. I mean, obviously IM8 is a lot better than the 6s and 7s. And, you know, Kevin Van Dam is a living legend in the sport of bass fishing. So here we go. Lew's Mach 2 spinning rods. These are very good pieces of equipment. Same with this. This is I don't have the spinning rod version of this, but I have the bait casting version of it. Technically, a 7'6" heavy action Lew's Mach casting rod is the rod that I run for the Picasso double buzzer, the big red buzzer. For $80 for a spinning rod. The grips on these are phenomenal. The hook keeper's a little dumb being down there, but I could figure all that out. But if I was you, I would be looking at getting a medium 7-foot. That's just an all-around spinning rod. You can get one. You could run just about all your techniques with the spinning rod. You know, if you were really wanting to fine-tune certain techniques, you would probably go to a smaller, lighter type of version of the rod, which would be a 6'9" medium light, fast action. You pair that up with any old spinning reel, and you're gonna be catching fish. If you got a little bit more coin to spend, you can obviously look at, you know, a little bit higher quality rods. But to me, that would be one that I would be looking at getting. I've fished with the casting rods for 2 years now, and I'm telling you, I wish I had all my rods in that lineup right there. This is another lineup that is on clearance. You could not go wrong. I don't necessarily agree with the bright orange, but to me, a lot of these are going to be sold out. A lot of them already are sold out. But for $70, I think when the sale originally started, they had these in just about every technique specific that you could find, which was very helpful. Not many companies do that. Let's check out some 13 Fishing spinning rods. 13 Fishing, I'm very intrigued with them. They make a very high quality product for a very affordable price. They have products in all price ranges, as you can see. $375. I'm not particular one to buy a $300, $400, $500 rod or reel. I do have a $200 reel on a $150 rod. That's just me. I feel like I could do the same stuff with the lower quality rod. Just about the same results. There's just, hearsay. Let's go ahead and back out of the spinning rods. Let's go to the casting rods. Let me show you the Lew's. Lew's bought out an old fishing company that Quantum is the old fishing company that I used to run with back in the day. Once again, the IM8 casting rods, the KVD rod series, is a very good lineup to get. He's got pretty good, they're very fine-tuned to specific techniques that work for his style of fishing, which is my style of fishing. I've adopted it off of his style of fishing. Obviously, I'm nothing compared to KVD. All right, where's that? Where's it at? The old green. Oh, the white one. Yeah. Lew's mock casting rod. So this is the original style of it, but let's go with the 7'6". Let's go heavy, fast action. Let's view the specifications right here. Up to 2 ounce. Heavy action, 7'6". It's a very good rod. It works perfect paired up with your favorite reel to throw that Picasso double buzzer. I kid you guys not. This is just one of the gems of Lew's mock system right here. Is that rod right there. That is very much highly recommended. So let's see what kind of casting rods they have in that one lineup right here. They didn't have many in the... Okay, so they got a few more in the casting ones. So if you were a starting off tournament angler, you can easily come here and get just about all your techniques, situated with the rod and reel combo. Normally $80, on sale for $70. Not much of a deal, but any deal is better than none. And I think it's still on sale for Black Friday. And the more you buy, the more you save. So buy 2 more of the qualifying Lew's Xfinity Pro rods and get 25% off. Buy 5 or more and get 50% off. So yeah, if you're starting out tournament angler, that'd be perfect for you. Back in the day when I fished tournaments, they didn't have nothing like that for you. And that's just Lew's. We can look at 13 Fishing and see, their Defy Black casting rod series. You can't go wrong with it. $59 to $80, $60 to $80. You can get a rod or a reel. One heck of a rod. The reels are not until the 3rd phase. So let's back out of that. Let's go to soft baits. Now soft baits, I like creature baits and craws. Some tube baits are really good as well for punching. I like to punch Long Lake a lot in the summertime here in Kitsap County. Let's go to creature. Yep, beaver style baits. You don't want a lot of appendages like these. I would rip the side arms off, or I would just get the sweet beaver style of a bait. You see them, they're all based off of that. That was one of the original ones, Reaction Innovations. But all those would work, and they're all on sale, which is even better. You see they have so many different profiles and stuff. Missile Baits D-Bomb is a great bait. It is very soft and supple, and the fish tend to hold on to it a little bit longer than your average bait. But yes, so there's a bunch of them. You can basically go broke looking at those or shopping for them. So let's go ahead and back out all that. Let's go to spinner baits. Give it an old look. You can pick out your spinner baits. I just made a 3-blade spinner bait, so let me go ahead and show you guys some of those. You can get some of the ideas to make your own Frankenstein one. They even have ones that have 4 of them. That's the Super Shad Quad Blade by Booyah, which I've had in the past. It catches some very good fish. I caught a 6-pounder on that spinner bait back in the day with 4 of them on there. 1/2 ounce model. But this is where you get your double willow, 3/4 ounce, 1 ounce, War Eagle spinner baits. See right here? These are the big boys. These are the ones that catch giant PB type quality fish. And just about all these colors work. All of them work. I don't care what color you pick. They will all flat out catch fish. So that's spinner baits. I tend to go with War Eagle. You can go with Nichols, Strike King, War Eagle, Booyah. Those are all the companies that I tend to run with. Buzz baits, you know what my game is. I caught a 10-pound, 6 ounce largemouth at Lake X on a single-bladed buzz bait made by War Eagle called the Buzz Toad. We're going to go ahead and look for that one right now. I have not tried the Picasso Hog Snatcher single-bladed buzz bait, which I should probably pick one up. They're on pretty good sale right now. Normally, they're just right below $10. Used to throw some of the Lunker Lure buzz baits back in the day. Pepper Custom Baits isn't that bad. The Strike King was probably the first company that I ever saw as far as buzz baits. So here we go right here. This is the buzz bait that I would recommend getting. I like it in the gold blade. That's the color that I caught my giant trophy fish on in the 1/2 ounce. Can't go wrong. $7.99 plus it's on sale. Bam. I do not like the original frogs that come on there, so I usually strip those off and go with the horny toad in my favorite color. So let's go ahead and back out of the single bladed buzz baits. Let's go to the double bladed buzz baits, because you know my favorite is that Picasso. So let's look for Picasso, which came off of the DMM custom baits. I saw a video with Paul Bailey, what started this whole thing with the Red Winged Blackbird. And he was using a DMM custom baits double hammer buzz bait in the Red Winged Blackbird in Central California in the springtime around matted grass. And he would run that buzz bait and catch a giant, 10-pound fish on it. So this is what I kind of based my picking off. I just happened to stumble across the Picasso buzz baits, which offered a larger sized buzz bait. Ooh, they are limited stock in these, but for $9.99, you cannot beat it. I will catch like 30, 40 fish on these baits before they're rendered useless, or before I have to modify any kind of like the blades or the little part right there. I forget what it's called. Anyway, I highly recommend getting a 3/4 ounce Red Wing Blackbird. You can't go wrong with that. It is the time of the year to stock up. I will be coming back and buying probably 10 of those for this upcoming year. May not be right yet, but we can look at the umbrella rigs, because these are flat out fish catchers. I tend to go with the bladed umbrella rigs. Bladed umbrella rigs are for cloudy days, semi-cloudy days, semi-cloudy / sunny days. I like the Hog Farmer Tactical Bassin. Anything that Tactical Bassin puts their name on is a highly recommended item or product. You can see all the different stuff. You have to check your local state regulations to make sure that you abide by all the rules and regulations of each state. Our state, Washington, allows for 3 hooks, so I would still get one that had 5 hooks or 5 places to put hooks, but you only run 3 hooks. You run 2 dummies on top, 3 on the bottom. That's this idea right here. But there are some states that only allow 1 hook, like the state of Minnesota. They have a special rig designed for that state. There's some states that allow you to fish 5 hooks on it, like the Texas. So there are some chandelier-looking items here that are just crazy. Plus, you could be like Milliken Fishing or some of these other YouTube fishermen that put 2 of these things together to make one giant rig out of it. There's a Minnesota rig right there with one main thing. Got like, 8 to 10 blades on it. Just crazy. Picasso makes umbrella rigs. If I was to get one, I would just get this Hog Farmer Tactical Bassin 3-arm rig, I think it is. It's a flex rig. It's pretty good. The Yum is probably one of the original ones of it, far as being called the Alabama rig. All these other companies have come off of it and kind of copied it, but this one is a very good one to get right here. Is the Hog Farmer Baits Tactical Bassin Mini Flex Rig. It's already designed and set up, and it already has top of the line components on it. Some of these other cheaper ones, that's the last thing you want, is one of your split rings not to be modified or not to be top of the line, like rated for 65-pound breaking strength, only rated for 17-pound, and then it straightens it out on a 10-pound fish. What if you catch 2 10-pounders on one of these baits? It's happened. So you get what you pay for in some of these trophy type lures. Just keep that in mind when you're shopping around. The non-blade umbrella rigs are more or less for sunny days, in my opinion, and from what my research has told me. You can accessories. We can go and check that. Fishing tools, scales. You can never go wrong with the fishing scale. The Bubba scales are the new big thing in fishing, as far as scales going. But Rapala, in my opinion, is the original OG of it. Right here, right there, right there, there. That's the one I got right there. It's a very nice scale. I make some really good stuff. It's all on sale right now. It's highly recommended to go and get what you need to get to make your fishing days a whole lot better and more smooth for this, up and coming year, this season that's coming. Let's check out the frogs. Hollow body frogs. It was my first technique that I really learned in Texas almost 20 years ago. Back in the day, they didn't really have all these different types of frogs. My favorite frog of all time is the Spro frog, designed by Dean Rojas, which is a frog throwing son of a gun. If you ever know anything about the professional bass anglers. Ish Monroe with the River to Sea. Tactical Bassin is affiliated with River to Sea as well. They have the bullywog that come out, which is a very deadly frog. There's the Bronze-Eye King Daddy frog. That's the big giant frog that I fish. You can catch some really 4 to 6 pound fish on that. This is the original frog that I used to fish. It is a little bit more expensive, but once again, you can probably catch 50 fish on this one frog. Maybe 100 fish on this one frog. Sometimes the hooks from catching and snapping and setting the hook with some force will slightly bend the hook down, especially being hooked repeated on the same side of the frog. But $12, you can't go wrong with this frog. I tend to go in the solid black, which is called Midnight, I think. Midnight Walker, right there. That is my choice. All 48 states that have bass in them, you can catch fish on that frog right there. Half ounce. This is one that you have to impart your action yourself. You have to learn to walk the frog, which was, to me, one of the most intriguing techniques back in the day for me to learn. But as you can see, they have thousands of frogs. All right, we're going to back out of the frog. All right, so the up and coming, which is November 22nd, this sale starts. Let's just go ahead and look at the reels. Because if you go ahead and get that rod, then you're going to need a reel to put onto the rod. So let's go ahead and look at the rods here, or the reels. The spinning reels first. There are some super high dollar reels I would never even think about ever even buying or using. I can get the same stuff from $100 reel. You could just look at all the different choices that they have. Daiwa Fuego, that's a very good rod. Very light. 7'6" heavy action rod. Chef Alex has got that one. It's a very good choice. Can't go wrong with any of that stuff. We're not going to go ahead and dip into the reels just yet. We're going to just sneak a peek at the casting reels though. Let's go ahead and see if we can't find something. Oh, there you go. Speed spool right there. That's a very good reel. Swimbait 58 got one of those. $100 reel. Well, you can't go wrong if you got a little bit of coin. Those handles are very, very nice on the hands. All right, that's far as that'll be coming here November 22nd. I'll do another video highlighting the Phase 3 sale of Black Friday. Anyway, that's probably going to do it for the video for today. I appreciate everyone that's watching this. I know the holidays seem to be a little bit stressful time, but if you could swing it, this is the best time to get most, if not all of your stuff stocked up and ready to rock and roll for this up and coming fishing year. Yes, time's flying by. Anyway, thanks for watching. Swimbait 79 out.